go back to the Michael Quay report, what are we solving for? We are solving for the issues that led to our loss in the election. 4 main issues. This phenomena of so many people not being included in decision making, the phenomena of policy decisions left to the government alone, and sometimes even deviating from the party's philosophical positioning.
So like e-levy?
Many of them. We can go through a whole list. But the point is that a political party is built on a certain philosophy. We are a liberal conservative party. We are right of center. What is our philosophical position on, let's say, free compulsory universal basic education, or on healthcare expansion?
LGBT.
Or LGBT. If the party does not make a clear effort to have those defined by itself, it is left to a candidate after he has been elected to state his position, and then when he comes to power to begin to execute. And so the view of the party was that we need as a party to take a stronger position when it comes to policy formulation using our philosophical position, so that if you, Paul, become a flag bearer at some point, you don't just run off with your own ideas, but the party itself, and one of those motions, I think motion number 26, now requires that every time we go to conference, the sector committees will present position papers.
I see.
Whether we are in opposition or we are in government. So if you're a minister and you are functioning in a way that the party is of the view, or your sector is functioning in a way that the party is of the view, is not conforming to our philosophy, they'll call you out at conference. And that will be a stronger check.
That's very close to the UK system.
Yes, that would be a stronger check on a government. So motions 26, 27, 30 were the policy motions aimed at strengthening the party's say in governance policy, regardless of who is that not
being inching towards a small constitutional sidestep? And it appears to me that it's getting too much like the UK system, where they have a parliamentary system, therefore the party is very strong.
Yes.
In the American constitutional system, the people are voting for a president, 50% plus one. It is him that the world is expecting the policy from. They don't care about the party. The party can stand behind it. But if we are now, so we're going to have a government by the party more than a government by the elected president and his cabinet.
No, so you're going to have a government which has an elected president and the cabinet, but their ideas have to be based, at least if it is our party, the ideas have to be based on the philosophy of the party. Because first of all, you are running with the flag of the party. You are even seeking to be flag bearer of the party. What are our values and our ideas that you ascribe to, with which you are going to govern? We must define it clearly, so that when you become the flag bearer, you are not now coming to imagine some new ideas.
So if you become flag bearer, the party says we are doing free SHS. You are doing free SHS as a president.
That is not exactly how we intend it. What we intend it to be is, for example, the Constitution of Ghana says free compulsory universal basic education. As a party that is right of center, how do we envisage that being done in the best way? The whole party must have a way of thinking through it, and at conference being able to articulate it, so that tomorrow when you become president, even if you want to do free SHS as the way to do it, your free SHS is based on our philosophical understanding and approach. I'll give you an example. There's a big debate now about universal healthcare. And one of the instruments to use towards that is health insurance. That if everybody has health insurance, then access to healthcare, you are getting close to the universal nature. And I recall I was vice chairman of our manifesto committee. We had a big philosophical debate where a group was thinking that the way to achieve it is to eliminate the health insurance premium and tax everybody so that everybody is covered. And then we had a very strong philosophical block that says that as a conservative party that believes in less taxation and more, may I say, individual contribution to solutions, we should rather be promoting a proper premium-based health insurance system and less taxation, so that you reduce the tax component and free up the tax space and let people pay their premiums adequately, benefit from it, and know that if I pay my premiums, I have coverage to include chronic diseases, etc. So a party like ours should not be one that says that let's tax the people more for health insurance. A party like ours should be the one that says that let's get the premiums to an appropriate level and even take away or reduce the taxes to the barest minimum. That is how the philosophical approach now affects it. So tomorrow when you become president, you don't go off and say that I'm going to scrap the health insurance premium and increase the tax for health insurance because I want to achieve universal health coverage. That is how the philosophical thinking
That's interesting.
now begins to affect the policy. So we've expanded the policy committees, we've set up a policy directorate, and now we are requiring papers to be presented at conference. That's also how you're going to see that there's a young sharp doctor from Sihri who participated in the health subcommittee conference, and the ideas that he's bringing are fantastic. So even identification of talent.
So he can be deputy minister if we win.
It's not supposed to be based on who knows the candidate and who knows this, but you are creating room for more policy work to come to the fore. And all of those were lessons from the Michael Quay report, which are now, part of our amendments.
So, for instance, the Constitution says independence of the judiciary. So, as a party, you're going to formulate your philosophy. When we say independence of the judiciary, it means that you can never entertain a petition to remove a chief justice. You can never do this. You don't have a court of appeal of more than this. You cannot have a high court of this. You must have a high court in every district. That's what you mean.
That is
something the Constitution has provided for.
Exactly.
You form a policy around it.
We form our policy position around it based on our philosophy as a party, which will then inform where. And if, for example, you are a candidate and you want to deviate from it, you've got to make a very strong case to the party why you think that the party should. I mean, take.